Hello everyone and welcome to episode 68 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series here on the channels. It is the Road to Fantastica Mania tour. As as far as being back in Mexico, it's always fun to have a bit of a pit stop before we go back into the regular part of the schedule as far as for us, as far as a nice little cooling off period after Wrestle Kingdom. It's a nice way to really kick off the year. As for Fantastica Mania, though, we do have a big main event, though, as it's going to be an IWGP Heavyweight title match of Barbaro Cavanero taking on Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, this is a match that Nakamura has requested, as far as he wanted to have a title match to be one of the, I believe, the first ever person to defend the IWGP Heavyweight title on Mexican soil, as far as viewing what his improvement was once he, came back from Mexico, as far as seeing the characteristics of what Shinsuke Nakamura has become. It really has come from his tour of Mexico, and he wanted to give a little shout out to that, and also wanted to give the people of Mexico a fun little main event for their tour after beating Zack Sabre Jr. in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom. So that's going to be a fun little main event matchup. Of course, Barbaro Cavanero also, was it last year or was it 2 years ago? He won the CMLL Universal title on the Fantastica Mania show. I believe it was last year's Fantastica Mania. So that's fun. I think he's the kind of the best lucha guy that, as far as from CMLL, that would make sense for this matchup. And also, I think stylistically it matches up pretty well too. So there is that Junior Heavyweight Tag Team title matchup, though. It's the co-main Blast-Off versus Mexa Blood. Should be a banger. That should be a pretty fun matchup. Then United Empire taking on Task Force Death for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles, as Theodore is very upset with that. As the United Empire team, it's going to be the former junior tag champs of Makabe and Gresham with Lee Moriarty taking on, of course, the champions of Task Force Death. In a NWA World Historic Middleweight title matchup as Black Taurus taking on Black Panther. As far as Black Panther, of course, son of Blue Panther. And then for Black Taurus, he's been someone that has been wanting that big-time moment. We've been wanting to give him some type of big-time moment in this series for a long-ass time now. And he's finally got it. A good chance here to at least become the NWA World Historic Middleweight Champion. That could be big. 8-man tag for the next matchup. House of Black versus House of Torture. We are having a Jay White, Tyler Black. Believe we're going to have some type of gimmick match involved there. As far as I'm not exactly sure what it will be at this point in time, but it will be a gimmick match for sure. So that should be fun. As far as building up to that, that's going to be happening at the New Beginning in USA show. That's going to be obviously on this little Fantastica Mania show, just to give it, there's something to be said as far as obviously it being in, a CMLL Fantastica Mania show. We try to not make it so New Japan-esque, but we had to have something that was like New Japan-esque, like an undercard 8-man tag. As then the next matchup, Pentagon Jr. versus Atlantis Jr. That should be a fun matchup there, as far as it felt like Pentagon Jr. should be on this card. It felt like Atlantis should have been on the card. As we have then Masquerita Dorada and Flamita of Mexa Blood taking on Top Flight. And then a 5-way opener, as it's going to be a one fall to a finish. It's going to be Flyer, Sabarino Jr., El Fantasmo, the return of El Fantasmo, and Nito Day, Elizmark, and Rocky Romero are rounded up. As far as for this matchup, that's just a great way to kick off the tour. Not kick off the tour, kick off the show, rather, for the Fantastica Mania show. Which I'm super excited to see how that all plays out. As for the tour itself, everything's pre-booked. We just gotta plug and play and see how it all plays out. As Drew London, spot for Wrestler's Court, accused of not during the rest of the locker room for a night out, as the judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found him guilty and sentenced by drinks from after the show. So that's good stuff there. So the main event for this show, I think we're gonna have it be United Empire versus Task Force Death in the 8-man. As it's a pretty bang-up matchup there. Drew Gulak is joining, of course, the trio that's taking on the Task Force Death team. But Kenta's going to get the win over Drew Gulak in 20 minutes. And then we're going to have probably, Dark Order versus Black Panther and Nito Day, Lizmark, and Sabarino Jr., the 6-man there. As it's a fun little matchup, though. Black Taurus are going to beat Nito Day, Lizmark in 20 minutes. Maybe that shouldn't be the co-main. It should probably be this. As Time Splitters, Kushida, and Alex Shelley taking on SB Kento and Bushi. as we're going to see 2 title matches for Kushida on that next upcoming tour. The New Beginning in Sapporo show is going to be him against Bushi. Then the Osaka show is going to be him against SB Kento. Shelly going to get the win over Bushi. We'll bump that up. Yeah, then probably House of Nokiism versus Flight Club. It's Carl Fredericks, Coughlin, and Connors taking on Hayato Tamura, Hayato Jr. Fujita, and Top Flight, as Hayato Jr. Fujita is going to get the win. That's going to be a steal the show matchup. Atlantis Jr. versus Yui Moore. It's Atlantis Jr. going to get the win in 10 minutes. And then to kick off the show, Rocky and Yo against Mexa Blood, as there should be a technical masterclass. There we go. We fixed that. As Masquerada beating either Rocky or Yo. It doesn't really matter at that point. That's nice, though. Nice little day 1 show. I don't know why I picked Canada at first. As, let's just kind of see where I want to run this show at. Because obviously, we'll probably run the final show. First of all, we need to add some fucking venues here. Because I'm not even seeing Arena Mexico anywhere. That is not good. Yeah, we gotta do something about that. That's not a good sign. Yeah, like, that's bad. Let's just pick a venue for now. Yeah, we'll run here. It's probably for the best. Oh, but there's that Puebla venue, Arena Pueblo. Yeah, let's do that for our first show. So 59 for the opener, Rocky and Yo losing to Mexa Blood, as Dorada pinning Yo with the Springboard Dragon Rana. The 58 for Atlantis Jr. and Yui Mora. Scorpion Deathlock for Atlantis Jr. over Yui Mora. As a 60 though for Atlantis Jr. That's a good sign going into the final match, as Hayato Jr. Vegeta with the helm over Carl Fredericks. Pretty close. But Flight Club definitely were the better team. So I got a 61, 69 for Dark Order and Black Panther, Nato Day, Lizmark, and Sabarino Jr. as the Infernal Suplex from Black Taurus over Lizmark. Yeah, he was the worst guy in the match. I figured so. He's got potential, obviously. He's the fucking son of Lizmark Jr., so, I mean, he's going to be pretty talented. He's just got to get there first. But Sabarino Jr., that was a 70. That's a very good sign there. 65 are the Time Splitters against SB Kento and Bushi. It's SB Kento. Worse than everybody else, but Shelly's beating Bushi there in 20 minutes. In our main event, 8-man tag, Kenta with Go to Sleep over Drew Gulak. It's a great win for Pac and Ray Phoenix and Kenta and Pentagon Jr. Is surprised Pentagon Jr. didn't have a better rating since it is in Mexico, but it is what it is. Makabe with an 84 is pretty surprising. So yeah, before we get into the next show, we definitely will import some venues so we can actually run most of Mexico, so that should be nice. Hopefully everything goes well, as on to day 2 we go. Alrighty, day 2, as of course they got us in Tokyo, Flamita, for Wrestle Court, accused of not joining the Wrestle Locker Room for a night out, as the judge actually found him guilty and sentenced to buy drinks right after the show. As, of course, we did add a couple of places. Let's see here. Not really perfect there. It's going to be tough. I could have swore he added some places here. I guess not. Damn. We'll have to look again, at least for that last spot. But Arena Jose... So, that's in Monterey. That wouldn't be bad. I know it wouldn't be perfect, but at least it would be a nice little spot to run. Well, I guess we ran there for day 3. It's wild to think we jumped up from 817 people from the year before to now 2,708. As for the main event, it will be the Shinsuke Nakamura, Kaji D'Amato, Barbaro, Carbonero, and Black Panther matchup. Black Panther is going to beat Kaji D'Amato. Probably could be this match, though. Lucha Brothers versus Jonathan Gresham and Daniel Makabe. That's going to be a banger. Versus Ray Phoenix. Got to get the win. Of course, these two, that was Wrestle Dynasty 2022. The last time they faced off against each other in a 2v2 setting for the junior tag team titles. So, I think that's, it's crazy. They're 1-1 in tag team matchup as far as 2v2 matchups. Yeah, I think we're going to have that be the main. Let's bump that up. Then boy, there's a lot of interesting matches here. I mean, this Tyler Black, Malachi Black, Jay White, Brody King matchup could go next. As far as Tyler Black going to beat Brody King there in 18 minutes. Then, Eddie Kingston, Shota Umino versus Claudio Castagnoli and Flyer. It's Claudio teaming up with Flyer there. Claudio's going to beat Shota Umino. Then the Court of Justice as Juice Robinson, Hanare, and the newest member, El Fantasmo, losing to Josh Alexander, Walter, and Drew Gulak, as Josh Alexander's going to beat Hanare. That's a technical masterclass matchup, so that will open up the show. Then this will be a Steal the Show matchup, House of Black versus House of Torture. Since House of Black won the first tag match, they're going to lose here. The junior tag match is Ishimori going to get the win in 13 minutes. I mean, basically all tag team matches here. Obviously, that's going to be a tour show for you, but pretty interesting to see how this all plays out. As a 67 for the opener, Josh Alexander pinning Hanare with the TKO. So that's a 65-64 for Josh Alexander and Walter. Hanare. It's crazy. Hanare's one of the better guys in that matchup. 61 for Rob Eagles and El Kukui against House of Torture. It's Bloody Dragon from Ishimori pinning El Kukui there. It's El Kukui with a 39. That's brutal. 70 for Eddie Kingston, Shota Umino against Flyer and Claudio. Shota Umino with 36. That's embarrassing. Neutralizer, though, from Claudio. 76 from Tyler Black and Malachi Black against Brody King and Jay White. Tyler Black with a curb stomp in 17:56. Not bad at all. And 83 for what could have been the main event, as Shinsuke Nakamura and Kaji D'Amato, Kingdom of Strong Style, taking on Barbaro Cavanero and Black Panthers. Black Panther pinning Kaji D'Amato. Yeah, I mean, a 66 for Barbaro Cavanero, Shinsuke Nakamura with a 93. Yeah, that pretty much sums that up. At the 78, though, surprised that was not better, but it is what it is. Package pile driver foot stomp combination from Ray Phoenix on Jonathan Gresham. What a win for Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. It's a really good tour show, to be honest. Hell yeah. Now on to the final tour show. Hard to believe we only have 3 tour shows, and the final show being the 4th show. Pretty quick and seamless little tour here, but also, obviously, it's a bit of a, you would say it's a side quest if you were playing an RPG game, as far as for this Fantastica Mania tour. It's always nice to give guys that don't really get the shine, and also gets to, as far as running shows in Mexico, it's always fun to do. So there is that. So at least we're getting that heavyweight title matchup on this show, so there is that. That's something that hasn't really been done before. So it's something new and unique as far as from that perspective. But yeah, on to the final tour show of the tour. Alrighty, the final tour show. And so we get a backstage instance. It's Daichi Murama's brought for Russell's court, accused being an hour late to pick up his signed travel partners. The judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found him guilty and sentenced to pay for his draft partners' meals for the next 3 shows. Then Yuji Nagata passing on microphone work to the Great O-Khan. So obviously, we will be going back to Mexico, as, we'll probably be trying to run, hopefully, Arena Mexico here. As far as that's the plan, to run there for the final show. But as far as where else we can run, probably, yeah, we'll run here in Veracruz, Mexico, there at Juarez. Hell yeah. As, it'd be a little under capacity, but it's better than what we did last time around, so there is that. For the main event, probably, so we either have, this Blast Off Mix of Blood 6-man tag, makes sense for this to probably be the main, or pretty close to the main, as Dorada's going to be Shun Skywalker. Shun Skywalker in Mexico, obviously he went to, on excursion in Mexico, but him coming back to Mexico probably be pretty fire to see. But Hammerstone and Kushida against Sanada and SB Kento, as Sanada's going to beat Hammerstone. Oh, that's right, Hammerstone's hurt. Completely forgot. We'll have Jeff Cobb, which, fucking Matanza, back in Mexico. I hate that Matanza's going to have to lose, but it is what it is. Oh, shit. There we go. Perfect. Could have made that a 6-man, but it is what it is, and Jeff Cobb's upset. Now this is where it's going to get interesting, because really, this card, Rushmore vs. Sassunokism, it's Roderick Strong, the Young Bucks against Katsuyori Shibata, Coughlin, and Connors, as Clark Connors is going to lose to Roderick Strong, technical masterclass matchup. We're going to have AJ Styles take on Katsuyori Shibata, at the US show, New Beginning in USA. So a little build-up match there, even though AJ's not in the match. Claudio and Darius Lockhart. Claudio gets the win in 10 minutes. We're just slowly building up Claudio Castagnoli. It's kind of weird that we're going with that approach, but it's very old school, kind of methodical mentality of just we're throwing a lot of different names out and a lot of different types of wrestlers, and he's able to kind of beat out all of them, just feeding them. We're feeding them as El Fantasma and Juice Robinson of the Court of Justice taking on Yo and Rocky as El Fantasma's going to get the win. There, I don't know about that. I guess I could use a win. I don't know. It's tough with that one. Then Top Flight against Christian Casanova and Myron Reed. This steals the show matchup as Dante Martin's going to get the win there in 12 minutes. So, again, this is the technical masterclass matchup. The steal the show match there. It's weird that Lockhart's going to be with Claudio Castagnoli is going to be right before the co-main event, but it's a bit of a unique little show in the sense of, we're really throwing a lot of different names that we wouldn't normally have so high up on the tour show be on this show, but I like it though. Again, it's something different, and it's something to help get those guys over a little bit more. But Rushmore against House of Nokiism, decent little opener there. Obviously the Bucks, Roddy killing it there, and as far as Roddy's going to tap out Clark Connors of the Stronghold, that's probably going to be one of the best matches on the tour show, to be honest, here, as a 61 for Top Flight against Casanova and Myron Reed, as Dante Martin with the 450. Top Flight killing it. Love to see a 67 for Juice and El Fantasma against Rocky and Yo, as El Fantasma with the greetings from Camwood Park on Yo. It's weird, as far as El Fantasma, we sent him down to CMLL just because, obviously, once the Bullet Club thing kind of died out, it was like, well, we don't really have any use for him, but to have him come back a part of the Court of Justice, it's a cool little idea, as far as he was exiled, he's got, as far as, he wouldn't have, like, those shitty little glasses, he'd probably have one of the aviator glasses like Juice has got on, but, it's a unique idea. To repackage, we'd probably have him, change up his style a little bit, not be so over the top dorky, but kind of a little bit more of a little killer instinct to him, as far as actually trying to beat the guy instead of just fucking off the whole time. 61 though for Claudio and Darius Lockhart. They have great chemistry. That's fun. Neutralizer for Claudio in 9:59, and a 65 for Jeff Cobb and Kushida against Sonata and SB Kento. Sonata with the skull end over Jeff Cobb. Yes, Sonata getting the win, rightfully so. Jeff Cobb's still complaining, even though he's been the drizzling shits, because SB Kento almost outperformed him. 72, thank God, as Blastoff and Mexablood. Solid little matchup here, as Dorada pinning Shun Skywalker with the corkscrew somersault senton bomb. Jesus Christ. What a finish for Dorada. Obviously, Riley Lee was going to kill it, but even Abe, Jason Lee, everybody did really well, but Shun Skywalker, so it makes sense why he takes the fall there. Yeah, solid. I mean, we saved it because of that main event. There is that. But I'm excited to see how the actual final show is going to run. Obviously, Nakamura in the main event. We saw how he did in the tour show. And that's got me really excited to see how that main event's going to play out. And also, the junior tag team title matchup should go over really well. And, it's going to be fun. It's a little different. We're going to have a multi-man matchup on the card, too. We're doing that a lot more often now. I don't know, I'm feeling a little, just as far as I think it's because we've been doing it now for about, as far as starting in 2020 now in 2024, feels like maybe try to sprinkle in something new, but also at the same time, we should, stay with what New Japan usually does. We're being a little bit more creative as far as, maybe not creative, but we're a little bit more freedom with what we're doing, is what I would usually probably say there, as I think it's on the Sunday, I believe. I don't think it's the very next. Oh, it is tonight. Alright, so we'll just keep it rolling. We are trying to sign Elio Del Vikingo, because obviously Vikingo's the man, and he's, I would say right now, speaking as just someone who, he's definitely the best luchador in the world right now. That's in Mexico, as far as Ray Fenix probably would be, if he was obviously, but he's working at AEW, but yeah, it's crazy that he was only on the handshake deal. I had no idea he was only on the handshake deal, so we're going to try to get him away from AAA. I think we finally secured that bag. Yeah, it's a pretty solid steal, though, because obviously we're going to send him to CMLL, and he'll probably be ready, as far as once he gets, over from just being on New Japan World, probably be a problem, for sure. Sex the Blue Panther got hurt. during, I think it was a AAA show. So he's out, actually. So, yeah, we're going to have to do something different now, thanks to Black Panther being out. Not exactly sure. I mean, we could potentially, since technically the reign has been fucked over anyways, because we brought it up from. I guess we could have it be for the vacated NWA World Historic Middleweight title. Not a bad call. It's gonna fuck up that reign a little bit, but it is what it is. But we're already at 30 million, even though we've spent so much money on New Japan World, so that's a good sign. 94 last time, the main event there. Yeah, we had the welterweight title matchup last time around. Christico and Ryu Lee, that was a banger. For sure. But New Japan World, backstage incidents, a show, was the Profor's court accused of not joining the restaurant room for the night out as the judge, Hiroshi Tanahashi, found them guilty and sentenced to buy drinks after the show. Then Kojima, passing on, I'm assuming microphone work, yes, to Heiharu Tamura. Alrighty. So, with that being said, obviously the main event, Barbaro Carbonaro, Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke's going to get the win. 23-minute matchup. Not crazy. Just felt like a nice little 23-minute matchup is a nice little change of pace of what he's usually been doing, where he's been busting his fucking ass off, trying to kill it out there night in and night out. Then Mexa Blood versus Blastoff for the junior tag team titles, as Mexa Blood will retain. So Riley Lee's going to beat Jason Lee. 21 minutes. Should be a fun little matchup. United Empire versus Task Force Death, the 6-man tag for the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles, as Ray Phoenix is going to beat Lee Moriarty. Fun little matchup there. Then, what would have been, Black Taurus versus Black Panther, will now change that. As far as, it would be nice, as far as, there's really not a whole lot of luchadors left that we have not booked on this show, so we're going to probably have to throw somebody out there from left field to kind of make this work, which is going to be kind of weird. Let's keep it as is for now. We'll just skip it for now and just kind of see what we're dealing with. House of Black, House of Torture, 8-man tag. Brody King's going to beat El Kukui. Nice win for the House of Torture team. This is the first time meeting as far as from this interaction, so I'm assuming just because, Brody King's probably not usually involved in this matchup, it's usually Miro. I wanted to give Brody King a bit of a rub in this on this tour. Pentagon Jr., Atlantis Jr. Atlantis Jr. is going to beat Pentagon Jr. That's a big win. It's Atlantis Jr. getting the win in 24 minutes. So then the other Mexa Blood matchup is Dorada and Flamita against Top Flight. Steal the show matchup. It's Top Flight going to lose to Flamita and Dorada. Then the 5-way first fall to a finish matchup is El Fantasmo, giving him the win. No, we're not doing that. As, we're going to give that one to Sabarino Jr. He's the best guy in the match. Just kind of makes sense. Though it is a technical masterclass matchup, so we'll see. Flyer's unhappy, though. Flyer must be the most over guy in the matchup. Yep. Pretty over. I will keep you strong. Hell yeah. Rocky's unhappy now. Jesus Christ. Bunch of politicking pieces of shit. There we go. So yeah, now this Black Taurus, Black Panther. What would have been? As, let's just not use the pre-booking sheet. Just easier this way. 2 out of 3 falls. Black Taurus over here. So, we could go with Bushi. Because even though it's technically a middleweight belt, it's usually held by people that are middleweights. Does that make sense in the game? I know it's weird to think, but like, as far as Black Taurus, the lightweight, a lot of lightweights that we could use. Let's see. Roddy would kind of be weird to see. Taichi be fun, but yeah, it kind of wouldn't make any sense in that same breath. Because I'd still want Black Taurus to win. I think that'd be a fun way for him to win. Eddie Kingston would be interesting. It'd be very unique for him to be involved in that matchup, but it's definitely not the worst idea. Man, I'm very torn. Because Alex Shelley could also work too. I know it's kind of weird to say. let's go Shelley. Sure. I feel like Alex Shelley's just great in this role. And also, Black Taurus is going to beat him, so that's going to help elevate him, too. I think it's just a win-win all the way around. The NWA World Storm middleweight title matchup. Black Taurus beating Alex Shelley. So that's going to be absolutely after the House of Black, House of Torture matchup. As, let's see. Okay, so we're good to go there. We just got to make sure we're in Arena, Mexico. Why do I keep on clicking the Canadian flag? Whenever I want to get back to this page. There's 58,000 people, though? What the fuck? Yeah, I can go with the Mexico City Arena. So at least it's 22,000. God damn. That's fucking crazy. Jesus, well. I mean, this is going to be a sold-out show. For sure. I'm super excited to see how this is going to play out. Let's see what we get. Openers is a 56 Sabrino Jr. beating Nito de Lismark with a springboard Hurricane Rana. Sabrino Jr. best guy in the match. Makes sense he gets the win. Glad we called the audible. 79 for Dorada and Flamita against Darius Bond and Dante Martin. A 450 split from Flamita. Dorada was an 80 though. That's some good stuff. Some good stuff. 75 for Pentagon Jr. Atlantis Jr. Gonna win either way. 2 straight falls though wouldn't have happened. But that it is what it is. We definitely would have had to be 1-1-1. But it is what it is. 78 for House of Torture versus House of Black. Brody King pinning El Kakui with the Gonzo Bomb. As Tyler Black. 83, best guy in the match. Makes sense. Jay White with a 71. Malachi Black with a 70. Just some good stuff all the way around. Rob Eagles doing really well. Good stuff. El Kakui's getting better, but he's still a ways away. 71 for Black Taurus and Alex Shelley. Black Taurus, the new NWA World Historic Middleweight Champion. Again, it probably wouldn't have been 2 straight falls. Actually, I don't know about that. I think we would have saved the 1-1-1 for the first matchup. Then we probably have Black Taurus win 2 straight falls. That'd probably be pretty sick. Really help, as far as catapult him above and beyond what he is. But that's a fun little matchup, though. It sucks that I only got a 71, but we'll take it. 82 for the Neverweight 6-man tag team title matchup. It's Pot Kenting, Ray Fenix killing it. Gresham, Moriarty, and Makabe struggling a little bit in this matchup, but Ray Fenix with the Meteor over Lee Moriarty. It's a fun match. A lot of those guys, it makes sense for them to face off against each other. Just didn't really work out really in Mexico, but because this would have been a lot better in Japan, but it is what it is. A 92, though, for the junior tag team title matchup, as Ryu Lee with a 95. Jesus Christ. As that's their first defense of their junior heavyweight tag team titles. What a win, though, for Mexa Blood. Hell of a performance, though, from Ryu Lee. He killed that shit. Our main event, a 97, Shinsuke Nakamura with the Boomaye in 22-34. What a win for the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, defending his belt on Mexican soil. As, that's actually a really good show. It's crazy that we could kind of fumble fuck our way into a good show now because of just the talent we have. But yeah, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Obviously, we're not trying to set the world on fire with this tour, but it still pulls out a pretty good rating thanks to Nakamura. And Ryu Lee, too. Obviously, those two guys will be getting a lot of praise for their performances. As far as the, I guess Ray Fenix. Good shit. But yeah. Trying to make some guys this tour, as far as we're trying to give guys that don't really get a great opportunity, I would say, over in Japan. Guys like Black Taurus, guys like, obviously, Atlantis and Savarino Jr., and, as far as Flyer, and that was really meant for those guys. And as far as I think the tour went as well as it could, the Road 2 shows kind of struggled a little bit, but the final show pays off in a big way. And now on to the New Beginning episode 69. Nice! We have some major matchups, though. As far as AJ Styles, Katsura Shibata, how Tamora's going to take on Brody Lee. And the winner of that match gets to take on Juice. And Juice won the New Japan Rumble at the New Beginning in Osaka show. Naito and Oromu going to get their tag team title matchup rematch against Golden Ace. Exciting stuff on the horizon, that is for sure. As that will do it for this episode, though. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.